This is Dick Bird. This is Flood. It's about 15 minutes long. I think this must have been the first match I got into. I jumped into it more or less in the, I don't know if this is the middle of the match, but yeah, definitely not the beginning though. First thing I did was run into this character, Ice Hammer, and he's being a little controversial in this match because he likes to take the enemy's nightshade and drive it directly over here to our core and lay spider mines around the core and things like that, which some people feel that's a little out of bounds, you know. There's things like that, you know, there's different practices like that that people sometimes kind of feel like they, you know, you just shouldn't do that, you know. This is one of them. And it's pretty controversial, and if you watch the chat in here, you can see people discussing that at length. He gets a few kick votes placed against him. Don't know if he ended up getting kicked for that, but, you know, it's something some people don't like. There's one or two people do things like that. Anyway, this was a pretty dramatic match. Here I'm making a huge mistake. I was aiming for the center, but then too late I noticed that, well, it'd probably be a better idea to take Flood right at that moment. Was dodging probably CTR Yellowbird because he's doing a lot of sniping in this match. And if I went straight for Flood like I should have did, I probably would have made it, but yeah, CTR Yellowbird, he's one of the best players out there. He's on the other team, so that makes this kind of a balanced match, whatever else is going on. He knows these maps really well. I mean, he's got some sniping positions that are just nuts. Man, he can hit a lot of stuff from them. Also, the other team is doing an incredible job of defending their prime. I mean, a lot of matches I just walk in here and take the prime like that, but it's not going to happen this time. You see there, I mean, I jumped a little early, but yeah, there was just no way I was getting in there. You know, I'm still going to try. You can see it's there's a lot of movement going on too. When this first started, Red had pretty much the entire map, and right now we've got most of it, except for their prime, which they're holding really well. Here's another one, Queef here. He's gonna hit me with that, you know, shock rifle from way the hell back there. You get into games where it's pretty obvious that the players have no idea what they're doing or what needs to be done in the course of a match, and then you get into other games where people are just incredibly in tune with what needs to go on, and it's really great to be in a game where, you know, all the players are really good, but the flip side of that is that the players in the other team are going to be nailing you left and right, and it's going to be much harder to look like you know what you're doing. Right there, I screwed up completely. I missed that character holding the orb. I'm going to get a pretty good kill on an orb carrier here, I think. Oftentimes, if I don't have the orb and if I happen to come up right here, I like to jump in this vehicle and do some blocking until we can, well, in this case, we've managed to take their prime.
Red core is secure.
You know, good for us. Whoever had it managed to get through where I did. Here I'm making another mistake. I really kind of screwed up on this match. I like to post matches where I play better than this, but yeah, there I decided I was going to sit there and try to dominate that area, but then there was a guy with an Avril on that balcony, and GT Darkstar, and
Red core is vulnerable.
decided I was going to try to run up on him and kill him from close range, and that was just the wrong thing to do. I should have backed up and got out of there.
Attack the enemy core.
Anyway, seeing the orb come up, we still need to take prime. I'm going to take another shot at it. I'll probably fail on this one too, I'm sure.
Red core is secure. Attack the enemy prime node.
No doubt. Yeah. There, they've got one. I killed Queef there, and two people here, and yet there's still people holding that prime, and the orb carrier's still up there. There's just no way I'm getting past that. I'm just having no luck taking it on this match at all. I'm letting the team know that the Deemer just came up. I'm not in a position to grab it myself. It'll be gone before I get there, no doubt, so I'm not going for it. Instead, I took this vehicle, which I probably shouldn't.
Attack the enemy.
I was going to try to attack something, but since I seen the orb come back up over there, I decided I better come back over here and use it for what it's supposed to be used for. Slightly stupid here is taking a little bit of an unusual route. Decided, well, he's pretty much where he needs to be anyway. I decided to loiter over here for a few seconds, but he didn't have any more luck taking the prime than I did, so I figured I'd better go back and see if I can pick up a passenger. And I believe there's nobody here except for this character, and he looks a little hesitant, so I'm going to jump out of there and grab the orb. I'll do that. I mean, it's probably not the kind of thing I should do because I'm leaving that vehicle out where somebody can grab it, but if I feel like the orb needs to move, I'll jump out and grab it and go.
Defend the prime node.
And it would be nice if somebody else would jump in that vehicle and come and give me a tow, but it doesn't always happen.
Attack the enemy.
I think in that case, decide, well, maybe I ought to take flood since I'm not having much luck with prime. Here's another mistake I'm making. If you see an orb sitting on the ground, you know, it might occur to you that maybe whoever killed the carrier is still around. And you ought to take a closer look before you decide to take a little nap and send messages out to all your buddies. And here I'm once again at loose ends, so I'm going to kind of keep an eye open because this is the next logical place for them to attack at. But I've seen the Redeemer come up, so I'm not going to let that go by. I'm going to, since I've got this vehicle available, which is going to allow me to jump up here and get it really quick.
Red core is critical. Red core.
Might even live long enough to use it. I think in this case I do. I'm going to use it on the Prime. This is about the only chance I have of taking the Prime with all the defense they've got going on around it. Screwed up on getting up on top of the balcony, but luckily there was nobody around to kill me, so I did manage to jump in here and use it. And we might actually get in a position to hit their core now. We've been doing damage on their core up to now. All of it, pretty much all of it with the flood. That's really how we're going to win this, is with the flood. A lot of recent matches on this level, I see way too much emphasis on the flood node. You get people that'll take the orb to the flood and try to hold flood when the other team is being really good about taking nodes. If that's the case, you really need to use that orb to dominate the nodes, you know. Well, I don't know. I guess it's a strategy, but if you don't do that, they're going to take over the map, and chances are, you know, well, maybe you'll hold that flood long enough to do some damage, but more likely you won't. And in the meantime, the entire map is going to be in the hands of the enemy, and they're going to be nailing your core anyway. So I kind of feel like if you could take that orb over to enemy prime and take it, you need to do that. Unless the flood is getting ready to. Unless you're getting ready to take 20 points of flood damage, then I feel like it's okay to go over there and cap the flood anyway. But I don't feel like it's a good idea to sit there and try to hold it with the orb ordinarily. Although there's times when that's a good idea, I think. Maybe it's not a bad idea on this match. I don't know, because we're having a tough time taking that last one. And you can see they're not being real slouches about taking back nodes. You know, they held on to their prime, you know, about as hard as they could. And now they're working on getting center back. I seen the Redeemer come up, so instead of sitting there fighting over that node, I decided I better grab this Deemer. See about taking the node back that way, because that is the quickest way to do it. And I managed to pull that off. And somebody was right there with the orb, so we've got center now. I thought I'd take off, but I seen that center is immediately under fire again, so I figured I better go back in there and cover it because I don't see anyone else around. I don't believe I'm all by myself here. There's some odd things going on with the scavenger here. It kind of looks like maybe I shot down an arrow round with it. I'm not really sure about that. I really need to check that out. And also, here's Entrop up on the wall there, and I'm pretty sure I killed him with the scavenger, but I really don't know how I did it. I targeted him. I had the trigger pressed down. Did I kill him with it? It looks really weird. It looks like that's what I did. He must have been pretty low on health anyway. Because I'm pretty sure my little energy ball there never touched him. And yeah, now they've taken the center again. They're also getting ready to time out on the flood. They're going to take about 20 points off our core with that. We've managed to take back center for the moment. This is going to get pretty desperate here shortly. This team we're up against, they're no idiots. We've just taken 20 points off our core. No big deal. We've got them down to 13 points. At this point, my thinking is, you know, if we have to, we can just hold. This is the point. This is the kind of situation where the flood becomes significant, because all we have to do at this point is hold that flood one more 60-round period, and we can end this. And that's really is how we're going to have to do it. I'd rather win this by taking all the nodes and nailing their core. I like the flood to me, the flood is a backup. You know, it's something you resort to if you're in trouble,
The prime node.
or if you're having trouble, you know, sealing the deal with the rest of the map. Both of which are kind of the case here. I'm being kind of slow about making use of that because I'm really focused on defending our prime right here, which is turning into a losing proposition. That ironclad defense the other team had on their prime, we don't quite have that. We're trying. I'm jumping around and killing everything, trying to kill everything I can see, but it's just not working out. They're kind of swarming all over us like ants here. I think we might manage to take it down here. Well, maybe not that time. I think I'm going to make another attempt with the orb. Might actually make it. Keeping an eye out to make sure nobody surprises me coming out that door. They love the nail as coming through there, so there we go, there's a cap, so crisis averted for the moment. That Viper driver is being really nimble. Got 28 seconds to go on the flood there, but we're not going to make that. Although this would be a really good time to focus on flood.
Attack the floodgate.
But Red's just taking it back. And in fact, yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do, is go back here to flood. I've got 19 hit points. This is a kind of a desperate maneuver, but there's a lucky kill on CTR Yellowbird.
Attack the floodgate node.
We've taken the whole map again. Taken the whole map again, amazingly. If we could hold it and take their prime, we could end this that way. There's a nice kill on the orb carrier, so I'm feeling pretty good right now. Once again, you know, I'm not thinking about that flood node. I'm thinking about controlling the map, but you know, well, Yellowbird's there with the Avril on the hamster ball, so.
Defend the floodgate node.
And now Red has center again, so it's, you know, it's starting to look desperate once again. Which it is. It's going to be desperate. Kind of at loose ends here. The orb is up, but I kind of feel like we're in danger here, and somebody needs to stand here and try to hold this prime, which nobody's doing. Yeah, I'm jumping back and forth, and there's the attack. And you know, I'm not going to hold off 3 or 4 guys by myself. No way. Well, there might have been another blue or 2 around, but I didn't see him. Yeah, there's one. There's the orb there. Getting ready to get blown up. Did manage to take the node down, so we're fighting for it anyway. We got 17 seconds on the flood. We're not going to make this one either, but those guys on flood, they do have the right idea at this point. This is really where we need to be. And me defending the prime, well, it's very noteworthy. It's very commendable. But you know, you notice that we're a little thin on the ground there, and it probably isn't a bad thing, because really that is where we ought to be. It's really what probably is what we ought to be concentrating on, is holding that flood for 60 seconds if we can. And that is what I finally determined to do here. The shade is up, and the shade is a good thing for holding this flood node. And I'm just gonna do the classic maneuver. I'm gonna get up here and lay a shield on it and sit right in the middle of it. And I feel pretty lucky that the shield is there. There's a kind of a glitch that comes up sometimes. Sometimes I lay a shield, and I don't know why, but sometimes the shield will just, it won't work. You know, I lay the shield node and immediately acts like it's not there. Well, it acts like it's there in that it won't let me lay another mine. But okay, we're getting ready to go. I'm not gonna go. Yeah. Here it is. And 2, 1, 2, 1, and there it is. And some of the red players are a little mystified here. How did that happen? Well, you gotta pay attention, guys. And here's my little victory war cry here. I'm gonna yell, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." I love it when we pull a match out like that. Oh, have a good evening.